this is what I love to do. I get to tell Cody Hanson, the drummer from Hinder, I get to tell the band's story, I get to tell his story, but I'm also learning new stuff about this band, and I think this is a good interview that fans of Hinder, diehard fans of Hinder, will enjoy. And also, if you've never heard of Hinder or you weren't a fan before, I hope after hearing this interview, you at least check out their music and more than just the Lips of an Angel song, because they really have a great catalog. And we're going to go through the band's history. And Cody has some great stories and opinions on things, and I really appreciated his openness and honesty. Like, he gave me his opinion on the Trapt singer. He has a really cool Mick Mars story. He tells me which talk show host was maybe not the friendliest guy, and you'll also hear a touring story that puts Ozzy's snorting ants and licking piss story to shame. So you're going to want to pay attention to this one. Have fun listening. I know I did. Welcome, Cody Hanson, to the podcast from drummer of Hinder, co-founder, drummer, and songwriter. I found out. I didn't realize you'd written a lot of these songs.
Yeah, man. I mean, since the very beginning, that's just kind of been our thing, right? So, over the years, it's kind of developed into production and, mixing and mastering and pretty much the whole deal. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because it's not as there's so many drummers that just literally just play the drums and they don't even know how to write music, right?
Yeah, I've never really considered myself to be like one of those like drummer guys. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really keep up with who's who, out there and like have like, a favorite drummer, you know what I mean? Like, I've always kind of taken the approach that's more like a really song-based approach, I guess. Like, what's best for the song? What's best for the band as a whole? And that's kind of always been my approach.
So how do you write songs? You must play other instruments than the drums then, right? Yeah,
I do. I play guitar and I can kind of get around on the piano. I wouldn't say that I can like play the piano, but I know how to create chords and good enough to record it and edit it if I need to or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. And so you kind of have a musical family background. Your grandfather was a bluegrass musician, is that right?
Yeah. He lived in South Dakota, and every time him and my grandma would come down, he'd always bring, an extra guitar. And of course, I didn't know how to play it back then, but we'd always, sit around and write little goofy kid songs about, pigs and ducks or whatever it may be. And I think that's probably where I got interested in music.
Oh, okay. And then you have some really eclectic influences, like 70s and 80s and 90s rock, but also country and gangster rap. I mean, you're all over the place. I think that's cool.
I am. Yeah, man. Yeah. Growing up, I was really into Buddy Holly and Jimi Hendrix and Bad Company. And then, as you mentioned, gangster rap, I had older siblings. And so they were really into gangster rap at the time. And, that's where I picked that up. And, yeah, man. And growing up in Oklahoma, you have to have country roots, right?
Right. So, yeah.
So yeah, man, I mean, I'm pretty much all over the place, and it makes it interesting, in the writing process, because, you can always find ways to use certain influences. You can pick one thing from this genre and one thing from over here and kind of, put it all together and make it one cohesive thing, which is pretty cool.
No, that's really cool. Did your parents let you listen to NWA? Because I had to hide mine in a blank tape and write New Kids on the Block on it.
Yeah, man, it's really weird. Like my wife just was like blown away by that as well. She's always asking me that, and I don't really remember like ever having rules on what I could and couldn't listen to. I just think I just kind of maybe just like did my own thing and listened to it in my room, and nobody ever really paid attention. I don't really know, but
would you let your kids listen to NWA?
Well, there's a good reason why I don't have kids.
There you go. That's a good answer. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So you and Joe Garvey, the guitarist, you meet the original singer of Hinder. You guys met at a party, and I think most people may know the story of how you came up with the name Hinder. You guys were frustrated looking for a name, so you look it up in the dictionary, Hinder. It's like in the Orthosaurus or whatever. Were there other names that you considered though before you decided on Hinder? Was there anything that someone had thrown out?
Not that I can remember, man. We were, it was really frustrating. Obviously, we just like looked and looked and looked, and nothing made sense. And then, I think we were just to that point where, we looked up frustrated, as you said, and the thesaurus. It was back in the day whenever people actually still had
books, yeah,
thesaurus,
right,
in their house, right. So out at my parents' house where we practiced, and I pulled it off the shelf and opened it up, and it was like, hey, that word looks kind of cool. Like, sure, let's go with it.
I like it.
We booked the show and went and played it. I mean, probably that weekend. I don't know. It was really quick.
Okay. And so then this is cool. I never heard of this thing. Do they still do this? The Oklahoma March Bandness, and you guys made it to the Final Four, and then you lost to this band called Falcon 5-0 that I've never even heard of. What happened to that band?
I don't know, to be honest. That was one of those deals, man. It was really, it was a really big deal around Oklahoma City. It was like the radio station that put it on is gone, but the alternative station, they would put it on every year, and it was one of those deals where we had in Oklahoma City, we had built a pretty massive fan base. So we ended up playing right before this band, and our fan base was known for being really rowdy. So,
really?
We played and it was packed. People were going crazy. And then this other band played, and most of the people kind of cleared out. And of course, when they won the contest, our fans went crazy. They were ready to fight everybody. So it was kind of a big deal at the time, I guess. But to be honest, man, that Falcon 5-0 band, they had a pretty catchy little pop rock song at the time. I can't remember what it was, something like Dirty Girl or one of those catchy little phrases or whatever. So, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I thought this was really interesting. So you guys are a young band. You're not signed to a record label yet. And what you did is you took all the money that you made from the shows and you put it back into the band for advertising and expenses, and you saved money to record your debut EP. I think that's so smart, because how many bands, I mean, I talk to musicians all the time. I would think a lot of them probably just waste their money on drugs or booze or whatever. Like, whose idea was it to, like, hey guys, let's take this money that we make and let's put it back into that's a very business savvy kind of mentality.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, honestly, like I was going to school for business, and I wasn't even looking to be in a band, to be honest. I had kind of quit playing music. And so, whenever we met and just kind of started, to practice or play around or whatever, I kind of immediately just kind of approached it as a business, like once I realized that the songs really, they were kind of cool. It had a whole new sound. Of course they changed, by the time that we, released a commercial release. But, I thought that the original material had some serious potential. So, for me, I always just kind of approached it as a business and, as a marketing opportunity, really. I mean, that's, that was kind of my background. That's what I was going to school for. So I really enjoyed that. And, we were, like you said, I think we were pretty smart about it. It paid off, and here we are a million years later.
A million years. Yeah. So that EP, Far From Close, you guys recorded 6 songs. Now 4 made the cut, but 2 didn't. But I've always wondered about this kind of thing. The 2 songs that didn't make it, they're on YouTube. So what happens with that? Like these demos, these unreleased tracks, they always get leaked. Who does that? Do you guys know who does that? Or do you have a theory, or is it just like a total mystery? Like, how many people have copies of these demos?
Dude, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. I didn't.
Oh, really?
I didn't know those songs were online. I'm gonna have to go. I don't even know what they were. I'll have to go check them out.
That's what I heard. I didn't check myself. Yeah, because I don't know. But I always wondered with stuff like that. Like, I'm sure you guys have other stuff, bootlegs and things that are online on YouTube and stuff somewhere. I didn't know if you knew, like, how many people get copies of demos and stuff like even when you're a major label act, how many people would have access to that? I would think it would be very strictly locked down.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember I remember at one point, and I don't know if it was that particular little demo or EP or whatever you want to call it, but I remember, do you remember that band 12 Stones?
No.
Okay. Well, so they were best known, I guess, for their singer was on that, is it called Bring Me to Life, that Evanescence track?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Paul McCoy, their singer was, like I said, that's kind of how, at least that's how they came into the mainstream.
Okay.
So I remember they came through and played a show at UCO, which is where Blower and I went to college together. And I remember approaching that band at that point. We were so excited to go and give them a demo, and thinking that, oh man, as long as we can get our our demo in the hands of this band, everything will be fine. They'll take it and do whatever with it. We were stupid, of course, but I remember doing that. I remember taking one up to that, the band Chevelle.
Yeah.
So their old bass player, we went to a Chevelle show, and he was signing some stuff after the show. And I remember we took him like our very first album, I guess. And I remember handing it to him, and I was like, hey man, we're not expecting anything out of this. We don't want you to do anything with it, but we wanted to give you our CD, just in case you guys get bored on the bus one night and you want something new to listen to. We worked really hard on it. Here it is. And at first he was like, no, man, I can't take it. I can't accept that. And I'm like, okay, man, well, we're just, if you want to listen to it, cool, man, it's fine. Just take it. And so I remember he took it, and we sat around for a second, and he turned around to walk off to go back to the bus or wherever. And there's a trash can there. He just right in front of us, just threw it in the trash can. Like,
oh man, does that just break your heart or what? Huh?
Do what?
I was just like, does that break your heart or what? I would be crushed if someone did that.
Dude, at the time, it certainly did. And I was just thinking to myself, even if, I know bands, obviously now I know that, they get approached with stuff like that a lot, but man, I was just thinking, what kind of asshole does something like that right in front of people, a band that's so excited and spent their money to come and see you. And, we were so excited to give it to him. And then I felt like it was just, he intentionally wanted to I don't know, just degrade us, I guess, right there in front of everybody.
And this was the singer of Chevelle, or?
No, I think it was their bass player.
Bass player, okay.
Which I think they might have fired him later. I'm not really sure.
He might be sending you a demo soon to help you get some help. So, do a lot of bands reach out to you guys? Do you get that a lot, where bands meet you and hand you demo tapes or business cards?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah. Well, because we've always been really accessible, after shows, anytime there's a bar around, we'll after shows, we'll go inside and, just have drinks and, meet as many people as we can and just try to get to know people.
Yeah.
That's part of the fun of doing this, without those people paying for tickets, we wouldn't be able to do it. So we always think it's pretty cool to go out and mingle and talk to people and get to know them. And
so do you guys do the paid meet and greets then, or?
Yeah, we do those as well. A lot of people like that. A lot of people that don't want to take the time to stick around after a show. They like to have that really private one-on-one time. And that's how most of the time when we can, we do our meet and greets. We'll have people come on the bus and we'll just sit down and, maybe have a beer or whatever. And just kind of have a real conversation. We try not to do the whole thing where we just rush it through and, take a photo and just move along. We try to take our time with it, but when we can, it's not always possible if there's too many people, but we try.
That's cool. That's good. But then if people wait and they just go to the bar next door, you'll meet them for free.
Dude, I shouldn't have said that. No, yeah, we totally will.
That's cool. So Extreme Behavior, your major label debut, 2005. So how long has it been since when you started to where you got the major label? How long did it take you to get there? How many years was that?
So we started in 2001.
Oh, okay.
And then I think we signed our deal in 2004.
Okay.
I might
That's
have
not,
that
wow.
wrong. I'm pretty terrible with dates.
No, that's that's approximate. So it's like 3 or 4 years. I mean, that's pretty, guys move pretty quick. And I think probably a lot of that's because, like you said, you're putting money back into the band, like a business and advertising and all that kind of thing. That's really smart.
Yeah, I mean, it went really fast, to be honest. You know, like, we were, we put our focus into like the female fan base at first. So I'm kind of giving away some secrets to any local bands out there.
How do you focus on female? Do you take shirtless pictures and stuff, or?
God, nobody'd want to see that. No. But I mean, we'd write songs that were kind of geared toward females anyway. You know, songs that women would like to listen to. But we would go around to to sororities and go in and talk to them and we hand out flyers to all the best looking to all females. But
well, yeah, because if you can get the females to come, the guys want to go where the females are, right?
Do what?
So if you can get the females to come, the guys want to be where the females are. So
that's exactly right. Yeah. So every time we would play, everybody would always know where we were. You know, every other Friday night we were at the same place. And then, it was just, it's literally, I'm not lying, there would be a line a mile long of people waiting to get in. And,
dang.
People couldn't get in until somebody left. It was like the hot spot to be in Oklahoma City, every other Friday night. And then eventually we got to the point where we're like, okay, we don't want to be known always as this little bar band. So we stopped doing that, and we would go rent a building, somewhere, a big building. And we would, spend money on production, big stage, big light rig, PA, the whole deal. We would spend money on radio ads, and we'd really make sure that the messaging in the ads was geared to make us look bigger than we were.
And this is all before you got signed.
Yeah. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool, man. And like when you're a local band, you've never had anything on the radio, and people are coming, you can sell out 750 to 1,000 cap rooms. That's a pretty big deal. And at the time we were doing all our own ticketing, all our own everything, basically. So everything that came through the door, we were getting it. We were keeping it, and then we could reinvest for the next show.
So I come to a Hinder show at this point, and you or Austin or Blower is taking my ticket and doing all this stuff. Well,
we weren't taking tickets, but yeah, it would have been somebody from friends or
okay,
or
people helping out.
We went as far as to have like had our own credentials, our backstage passes. We had our own
Jeez.
We hired a group of our friends with Hinder security shirts, and it was the whole deal, man. We did the whole thing, and it was really neat, man. I'll say this: we fooled a lot of people, which I think probably led to us getting our record deal.
Well, there you go. Fake it till you make it. I've heard that. It seemed to work really well. And obviously you guys are talented. So that major label debut, this is a question I had. I could not find the answer to this. I don't even know if you know the answer, but there was a rumor that the model on the cover is actress Katherine Heigl, but it's not. It's supposed to be a cover from a sex book. And then you just change the lingerie or something. Who is the model? People were trying, there was an article on Loudwire in 2018 and they didn't know who it was. And they're trying to figure it out. Do you even know?
No, I don't. And the funny thing is like huge assholes. We were actually going out telling everybody that it was Katherine Heigl because we thought it was. Somebody from our label actually told us that it was Katherine Heigl. So we were just going around just lying to everybody, I don't know. I thought that was pretty.
That's hilarious.
Pretty
So, like, the record label picked that picture, and they must have been on the up and up and got the rights for it or whatever, and did it legit, right? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I can't not bring up Lips of an Angel, or I'm not doing my job. I don't know what we can say about, obviously the song's huge. I don't know if there's anything we can say about it that hasn't been said before. Is there anybody that, like a really famous person or like a hero of yours that reached out and told you how much they love that song and that kind of blew you away?
Over the years, I've heard of people, mentioning it or saying something about it, but not really that I can think of, anybody in particular. But like I said, my memory's terrible, and we drank a lot of years away. So,
do people still bring it up a lot? Like, because I just had the singer of Everclear on, and I was asking him about the song "Father of Mine," and he said people bring that up to me every single day. So I was like, wow.
Yeah. So what do you? Oh, you asking like about Lips? Do people still?
Yeah. Do people bring that up to like, oh, that song changed my life, or it meant so much to me, or?
Dude, yeah. I mean, daily, pretty much. Especially when we're out on the road. But it's funny, man. Like more often than not, they mess up the title. It's always like that. Kiss from an Angel, or like that.
Really?
Angel Lips song, or whatever. I don't know. It's funny.
Do you correct them, or do you just let it go?
Nah, not anymore.
Okay.
It's like, whatever, man. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Cool. So the next album, Take It to the Limit. I see, this is the problem with, I think, the public perception of you guys is like a lot of people just know you for the Lips of an Angel song, but you guys have so many awesome, like, straight ahead rockers, like Use Me. And the Take It to the Limit song, though, I got to ask you about that. You got to meet and collaborate with Mick Mars. I'm a huge Motley Crue fan. I think you guys are as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, who's not really,
So, yeah, tell me about that experience. What's he like?
He's like, honestly, one of the nicest dudes of all time, to be honest. It was kind of interesting. We went up to his house, up in the hills out in LA or whatever. And we walk into this house, it's this massive house, right? And so we walk in, and this young girl answers the door that looks exactly like what you think Mick Mars would look like as like a 20-year-old girl, right? She's like, goth, like black hair,
really?
Long black hair. She looks just like him, only she's
this is, I'm assuming, his daughter?
No, it was his girlfriend.
Oh.
And
wow.
Yeah, right. So anyway, so we walk in, and we look around, and the house is like totally empty. I mean, like nothing in it at all.
Is he moving or
do what?
Is he moving, or what's going on?
Well, so he comes out, right? So, well, in one room, I can't say it was totally empty. One room, there was like this wall of like full Marshal stacks. And then there were some plaques, like all the Motley Crue plaques, like laying on the floor, just like laying there in a corner. And there was like in the kind of the dining room area of the house, there was one couch, like an old couch, just sitting over there in the corner, right? And so anyway, and I thought this was really weird. So like the banister, like the staircase, the banister, all like almost every single one of the supports for the handrail were gone, right? There were like two in it. And
like he kicked him out, or?
Yeah, I guess he did. I guess one night he said he came out and he was like, I don't really like those anymore. So he took a sledgehammer and just knocked them all out. But
wow,
it was so bizarre, man. Like, he came out and we were like, hey, Mick, nice to meet you. Like, are you moving, or did you just move in? And he's like, no. Okay, cool. Well, anyway, so yeah, it was wild, dude. And then, we went into he had this one little bedroom, that was downstairs that he used as a studio. And, he played us, some of the clips that, of him doing the solo, some of the takes, for the song, Take It to the Limit. And then after, he was like, you guys want to hear like the secret to my tone? So we were like, yeah, sure. So we go in the living room, and he's like, he picks up this pedal. I don't even remember what it was now. And he's like, this is it, man. So he sets it down, he plugs it in, and he turns on those amps. And I swear to God, like, it was the loudest thing I've ever experienced. And he just like, you know, just rips a chord out. And it was just like, I don't know, it was like a cartoon where like, the air is like blowing your
like
ear
Back to the Future when Marty McFly does the chord and gets blown away by the speaker.
Exactly. It was like that, man. It really was. It was crazy, you know, and it was, you know, in the middle of the night, you know, and he had neighbors, so there's no way they didn't hear it. It was so loud. But I don't know, man, it was a really, really cool experience to get to meet him and just see how down to earth he was, you know. And at that time, you know, it was before they had started touring. And you know, so he was kind of physically wasn't in great shape. You know, he wasn't quite as limber, you know, he wasn't moving a lot. So it was it wasn't what I expected. You know, I didn't really know that at the time. So, but he was, I don't know, man, he was super cool, super nice guy.
That's awesome. So then you guys do this Jägermeister music tour with Trapt and Rev Theory. I just had not just had, but a couple months ago, I had Matt McCloskey on from that band. He's so nice. What a cool guy. Super down to earth. Like you said, would you ever consider doing a reunion of this tour, or how are you cool with the guys in Trapt? Cause I know the singer has rubbed some people the wrong way recently with his social media stuff.
Yeah. I think I'd be willing to go out and tour with every band except Trapt. So yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, I don't know. I think that guy's kind of losing it a little bit, to be honest with you. And I'm sure I'm going to get some heat for that or whatever. But, you know, I just personally, I don't really see a need to go around and putting your political views, shoving them in everybody's faces and, you know, treating people the way that he treats them. I think it's unnecessary. And, you know, I don't really like it that he treats people that were fans of you know, his band the way that he treats them. I think it's kind of disrespectful, a little bit messed up. Personally, that's my
like with the social media stuff or other stuff.
Yeah, with social media stuff, and it's not even, you know, he'll go and he'll post his thing or whatever, and you know, everybody gets riled up now, right? Everybody's all on edge all the time about these things. So, but it's just the way he reacts to them after the fact. You know, I think
I see.
I don't really think I don't think it's necessary, you know, and to be honest, you know, we share, you know, our bands share a lot of the same fan base. So, you know, a lot of those times when he's disrespecting those people, you know, I feel like he's disrespecting our fan base as well. I just don't think it's very good for, you know, for our genre, for him to be carrying on that way. So,
no, that's a good point. And I think it was Matt or somebody that I interviewed brought up the point that, you know, it's fine for him to have those views, or maybe not, whatever, but at least post them from your personal social media. He was posting them from the band's. And I think Matt was the one that told me that the other members of the band don't share his same political beliefs. So it really should be his own personal Facebook or Twitter or whatever it was. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a really good point, man. I do feel bad for the rest of the guys. That's pretty shitty.
Yeah. So the next album, All American Nightmare, the title track from this album is so good. It's like a straight ahead rocker. I think a lot of your music, they're kind of like 80s rock style, but like you take like a modern twist on it. It doesn't sound like it's from the 80s, but I like kind of hear the influences on a lot of that stuff. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've always been, you know, big fans of 80s rock, and the two guys that we wrote the song with out in Nashville, couple of country guys they kind of got started as rock guys, and they were you know, they were really influenced by 80s rock as well. You know, they always loved it, and so of course they had a blast writing the song, and I mean they ended up writing the majority of that album with us, actually, because we just had such great chemistry together. But Brett and Brad Warren, they had a country project called the Warren Brothers back in the day. So you can go and check that out. But man, to be honest, they're some of the most talented songwriters that I've ever I've ever written with. They're incredible. So
Wow. And also you co-wrote with Jeffery Steele, Red Tail Lights.
yeah.
He's written a lot of songs and collaborated with a lot of artists.
Honestly, that was one of the highlights, I think, for me. In my career, was getting the chance to go and write with Jeffery Steele, dude. He's like how he wasn't the biggest thing in the world as an artist, not only as a songwriter. It just blows my mind. He's put out some stuff, some solo EPs of songs, that he's written over the years, and his versions, man, are incredible. His voice is so amazing. And, he's another one of those guys that, when we went to ride with him, he just, welcomed us right in and, had his cigar and his whiskey. And, he was just like the most cool, down to earth dude ever. But yeah, like you said, he's written about 1 million hits.
Yeah. Well, and then the next album, Welcome to the Freak Show. Then I love these collaborations. You write with Richard Marx. He was a huge 80s pop guy. So that's interesting. Is that somebody that you guys reached out to, or did he reach out to you?
I'm not really sure how that one came about. He makes his rounds out in Nashville quite a bit. And everywhere.
Oh, okay.
He's been a songwriter, outside of his own career for forever. And he's, dude. I mean, it doesn't get any better than Richard Marx. It was awesome to sit in the room with him and listen to him, sing parts of the song back while you're writing. I mean, he's just like, he nails every pitch, and it's the first time he's ever sang this melody, and he's just, I don't know, man, he's incredible. And he's really funny dude too,
really
watching social media now, and he's really funny. And
yeah, he's had some tweets go viral, I think.
Yeah. My wife is really excited. He retweeted one of her tweets. She's not very active on Twitter. She just reads things or whatever, but she responded to something that he put up, and he retweeted her the other day, and she was pretty excited about it.
That's cool. So you produced that album. Was that the first time? I think that was the first time you produced. And then it was interesting that you had James Michael from 6 a.m. mix it. How does that work?
Well,
why would you?
We actually co-produced Marshall and I co-produced the All American Nightmare record with Kevin Cherko. So that was a huge honor that he allowed us to do that. But yeah, so we went ahead and produced the next album, and yeah, man. I mean, we had worked with James, and he was a really good friend, and we sent the songs out to, man, I don't even know how many different guys, probably 10 different big name mixers. And he ended up blowing everybody else out of the water, to be honest with you. He's a really talented guy, as a songwriter, as a performer, obviously, and producer, mixer. He's amazing.
Yeah. So then you do When the Smoke Clears. That's the first one with new singer Marshal Dutton, but like you said, he had already helped you co-write and collaborate and produce and all that stuff for years. So that was probably a pretty smooth transition then.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, whenever you're making that kind of transition, I mean, it's never like smooth. But I think for us, it was the only move that we could have made at the time. We were going through, so much emotionally and mentally. I just think that at that point, man, like we needed to be home. You know what I mean? We needed to be surrounded with, friends and family, and we needed somebody to fill that role that cared about the band as much as we did. Somebody who was going to take it seriously, and somebody that we knew wasn't going to let us down. And Marshall was that guy, and he's filled that role, for going on 7 years now. So it's been a long time. Yeah.
So Austin left because there was some drug issues and stuff. Are you guys at least amicable now though? Or what's the relationship like with him?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, we talk, exchange text messages every now and again, but it's, I think for us, I think we hesitate to go back to, opening the relationship too much, just because it was, like I said, it was such a rough time for us emotionally. I mean, it could have completely crippled all of us financially, and not just us, but our families, our crew members. We carry a pretty big crew and support them as well. So, it was a pretty big deal for us. It was pretty difficult. So, it was a lot of anxiety surrounding that. So I think we obviously, we wish him well and don't ever want anything bad to happen to him or anything like that. It's just that I think that, we're not, I don't know that we want to get too close in that relationship.
You're not looking to do a reunion is what you're saying.
That's exactly. Yeah,
okay.
That was the very long-winded.
Fair enough.
You could have stopped me a long time ago.
No, I'm just gonna let you speak your mind. So, and then I think is this your most recent album, The Rain, 2017?
Yeah.
Okay, so that song "Loser Salute," I just love that title. That when I saw the album, I was like, I'm going through your discography, I'm looking at I'm listening to all the music, and that one I love the song too. It's like a slow build, and then it kicks in. It's a catchy chorus, and just, again, such a great title. Who or what inspired that song? Is that a fictional or is that true story?
No, I think, it's just one of those songs that Marshall and I were sitting around and, we just had the concept for it. We thought it was really cool and really funny. And that's actually, it may be my favorite track on the album, but it's like,
right. I think mine too.
Yeah, it's one that never really caught on. It was. I think it was the last track on the album.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know if most people have the attention span to make it that far into album cuts anymore. So
yeah.
I feel like it really got overlooked. But we had a really great time doing the production for that song. You can hear like little sound effects and things like. There was a time we put a bunch of beer bottles and trash on the floor and just went and kicked it over and,
oh, really? I didn't even notice that.
We used all these
I'll have to go back.
Yeah.
Is it
cool,
subtle? Because I don't remember hearing those parts.
Yeah, it's all pretty subtle.
Okay.
I think it's a lot of things that unless it's there, you may not notice it. Like a lot of stuff in the background where you can just imagine this drunk guy stumbling through his shitty apartment and stubbing his toe on the trash can, right? You can hear him in the background,
I'll have to go back and listen to that. That's awesome. And then you guys did a cover recently. You didn't do a full album, but you did a cover of the Eagles' "Life in the Fast Lane." It looks like you've done some fun covers. Do you like to play the covers live? Because I love when bands surprise me with the covers. And I think I don't know if this is real. I read this on the internet, but did you guys once do a cover of Skid Row's "Youth Gone Wild"?
Yeah, we did. We didn't do it very long though. I can't remember. I think that was probably a pretty challenging song to sing live every night. So
yeah,
we loved playing that song. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, the Eagles track, man, we, it was just one of those things. I was sitting around one day and I was actually trying to learn the riff, and I had an acoustic guitar, and all of a sudden I just started I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing, but I was just playing this dark minor, version of the riff. And I just had the idea to do it. So I took it to Marshall and we went in and tracked it. And, the rest of the guys seemed to love it. So yeah, we started playing it live, and, it went over really well, man. It was like I said, it's a real dark take on the song, I think. So
yeah, a little heavier.
The lyrics are really kind of dark, when you think about it. So, I mean, it kind of lends itself to that, It kind of makes sense with the song, with the lyrics.
No, that's really cool. I've noticed that with some of your songs that you released as singles, they didn't make it as big in the US. They made it bigger in Australia. Like the songs, "Is It Just Me" and "Making It Hard." Do you guys have a pretty big fan base in Australia?
It's funny. I mean, I guess we do, but we can't seem to ever make it back over there.
Really?
We've only been twice, and for whatever reason, we really want to go back, but we can't seem to do it. But a funny story is I actually had Marshall and we co-wrote a country song with some of the guys from Jason Aldean's band called "You Got to Me," and that ended up being a #1 country song in Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
which guy's from his band? Because I had Rich Redmond on. Isn't he the drummer for? Yeah.
It was Rich. And
I love him. He's so nice.
He's awesome. Yeah, he's amazing. He's a good friend. So yeah, they came to the house here in Oklahoma City when they were playing around town, and we wrote 2 or 3 songs on that trip while they were here, and that was one of them. So yeah, pretty cool deal.
That's really cool. So then, tell me about or tell people about the Dangerous Hippies band, because you guys were approached to write a commercial, but it didn't want to use the Hinder brand because they wanted more like a Black Keys kind of sound. And now you've done all sorts of stuff with different, 1982 was I think the song that sounds kind of Black Keys, but the other song, Contagious, Dangerous, that's really poppy and catchy. And it's kind of like you have no rules with this band, right? You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's kind of what it's been, up to this point, and we have so many songs for it, that we haven't put out. The concept is going to be, we were going to, just put it out song by song, whatever we kind of felt like it. But yeah, we have, more than an album's worth of material already recorded, just kind of sitting on the hard drive.
Wow. So which commercial is that song in, or did it?
I don't think that it ever actually made it. I just, I remember writing it, and I remember sending it around to our publishing team, and everybody was like, man, this is really cool. We really like this. And, it was something that we knocked out pretty quick. And, so we had a lot of fun doing it. So we decided, let's just keep doing this. Why not? So, over time, the sound changed, because I guess there's really not a particular sound to that project. It's really just kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
But, some of it's rock, some of it's pop, some of it's folky, some of it's, it's just like, that's one of those instances, like I was saying earlier, it's really fun as a songwriter that, you can pull, from different influences and kind of put them into one pot and stir it up. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had a lot of fun doing that one. We've kind of recently, kind of taken a break from doing it. Marshall's been working on he's doing like a guitar album kind of thing right now. That's kind of like Joe Satriani kind of, because I don't know if most people know this about Marshall, but he's he was originally the guitar player in a band called Faction, and that's how we met him. But he's he's amazing.
He's a Satriani type of guitar player. He could do that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. He's on that level. He's literally that good. He's amazing.
Damn. Well, I look forward to that. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And then, so while he was doing, he's been working on doing that thing. And, I actually started, for some weird reason, I don't know why, but I started writing this rock EP. So, I guess I wrote 6 songs and then did a cover for it. So I think I'm probably going to put that out maybe here in the next, I don't know, maybe next few weeks.
Is this like a solo record, or what is this? Is this a solo record, or what is this?
Yeah.
Do you sing?
It's something I've never really done it before. I've never done anything as singing anything. I've never even attempted it. I've never had the need beyond just writing songs. And just sitting down in my in my studio by myself. I just kind of started doing it, and some of the tracks started turning out. I thought they were really cool. And our management seemed to like it, and so I thought I'd just put it out there for fun, for people that have followed Hinder might kind of enjoy it. So
yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Cody Hanson solo EP coming soon. Awesome. Yeah. That's really neat. So you got to tell me these two. You have two that I could find, two legendary, amazing road stories that I heard you talk about. The first one is the prosthetic leg story. Tell our listeners this one. This is classic.
Yeah, I think I've told this one about 1,000,000 times, but yeah, we were playing this. It was like this festival up in this. It was like a ski festival or something. It was like up in the mountains. So it was like snowing outside, obviously. So we were in this big heated tent. It was like a massive tent, and it was packed in there. Totally packed, and people are all sweaty and gross, and sometimes people just like throw their random things up on stage for whatever reason. I don't know. But anyway, so this guy throws his prosthetic leg up on the stage, and one of the other guys picks it up, and they're like hitting blower with it, because he was always like the prankster guy, right? He was the joke, the life of the party all the time. And so he was getting kind of pissed. So he snags it, and he walks over back to the drum riser where he had his drinks and stuff, and he took his vodka and he poured it in there and like swirled it around real good to get all the skin and stuff.
Oh.
And just pounds it, just drinks right out of the way.
So he's got like pieces of the guy's like, it's not clean, not hygienic, right?
No, that's disgusting.
Okay, so if people think that's disgusting, they better turn this episode off, because now it's about to get really disgusting. I don't even know if this story's true. This is almost like where you're like, I don't believe this story. So you're out on tour with My Darkest Days. They're opening for you. Their keyboard player, he's always trying to like outdo everybody. And you guys go out for sushi.
Yeah.
And I'll let you take the rest of the story.
I don't even know if I remember it exactly, but I remember it was like, it was Reed, the keyboard player. He was always he was pretty much the only one that was always trying to outdo Blower. But I can't remember which one of them. Like, one of them felt, it was the sushi was disgusting. Let's say that.
Okay.
And we were walking back, and one of them got sick and threw up in this field. Like, a pretty big, massive pile of vomit. And I can't remember which one did it, if it was Blower, if it was Reed, but one of them walked over and grabbed a handful and ate it.
Yeah, that puts Ozzy snorting ants and licking piss to shame. I think that's way worse, to eat a handful. And did he like finish it, or did he?
At that point, I don't even know. Like, I wasn't going to sit around and watch like that. For whatever reason, grossed me out. Like,
that is for whatever reason, because you're human. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm going to have to get, I think it was, you said in the original interview I heard you talking about, I think you said it was Reed that did it. So yeah. I'll have to get him on here and tell that story. But okay, a couple more questions, then I'll let you go. But I know you guys you've done some talk shows, like you did Craig Ferguson and Conan and Lennon. And so I looked it up, and I was like, okay, one of the episodes, Samuel L. Jackson was on the same night. And then I think another time, David Spade. Did you have any interactions with those two when you were there?
Apparently not, because I don't remember that at all.
Is it pretty rare to have interactions with the other guests on the show, or?
Maybe. I don't really know. Like, I remember when we did Leno, he was like the nicest dude ever. He came in and talked to us for a while. And he had some tie to Oklahoma, so we had something in common.
Oh.
So we talked to him for quite a while. He was really awesome. The other dudes, not quite so much. I remember when we were on Conan, I remember him like, we could hear him like screaming at somebody through the walls. Like somebody had pissed him off royally. So he was screaming at somebody, and that was my
really Conan.
Yeah.
That's really shocking, because I cannot picture him being. I can't picture him being mad unless it's like he's being funny and pretending to be mad.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. And maybe somebody had really done something wrong. I have no idea, but
sure.
It was just kind of caught me off guard, because like you said, he always looks like the nicest dude ever.
Yeah.
So, and maybe he is. I don't know.
Sure. Well, everybody has a bad day. Yeah, it happens. That's crazy.
Yeah, and actually, one of our crew guys had told me they bumped into Craig Ferguson, and he was a total dick. So I don't know.
Man, do you have those besides the Chevelle bass player or whatever? Have you had those kind of interactions where you met people that you thought were really cool and they just were total dick to you? I mean, it must happen.
No, yeah, I mean, it definitely happens. But for the most part, I mean, most of the people are pretty cool. I remember there was this one band though that we toured with. We were doing this tour called the Mad Packers tour. We were going around playing these colleges. This business sponsored it, so that's what it was called. But anyway, this band, they were called I think they were called Operator, and they were signed to Atlantic, and they were opening the shows, and the singer was like this UFC guy, you know, and so he's always walking around with his shirt off and like thinking he was like the coolest thing ever, right? And we would always catch him like, I mean, he was the biggest prick, but we'd always catch him like, you know, the bottoms of tour buses, they're mirrored, right? So you can see the reflection. We'd always catch him out like in front of our bus, like looking at him. Looking at himself and oh,
I love your impersonation of that. That was great. That was classic.
Like that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
oh, that's hilarious.
He ended up like he would go on stage and like talk shit on us and bash us and stuff.
What?
And, yeah, it was crazy. Actually, I think the Ref 3 guys might have been out on that too. But anyway, and he ended up like he took like something from the stage and like threw it down into the crowd and broke some little girl's arm, and like he was like out of control. Just like he wasn't like drunk or anything, because he's like a big meathead guy, right? But like,
oh, maybe roids. Maybe he was on roids.
Do what?
Maybe he was on roids.
Maybe so. We ended up having to call him in, and I think we ended up kicking him off the tour, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So that's like really the only, I mean, really bad blood that we've ever had with anybody. We pretty much get along with, or we try to, get along with everybody. We're pretty laid back.
Well, and also like, aren't some of those people that are kind of more, kind of dickheads, they kind of just keep to themselves anyways, right? They're not going to come in to your dressing room and stuff because they don't want to, they're just maybe more introverted or whatever.
Yeah, most of the time, Yeah, most of the time. We actually we tend to get more offended when people don't come and hang out with us. If people don't want to come on our bus and just walk on and act like it's their house too. We really like for people to be social and have drinks with us or whatever. So.
Well, that's awesome.
That's about, man, building relationships.
That's very cool. I know I'll let you get we'll wrap this up here, because I know you're a very busy man. I was like listening to all the things you're doing. You got a production business, you're flipping houses, you want to travel, you got Hinder, you got your freaking solo record, and you spend a lot of time working on music from morning to late at night. How do you find all the time to do all this stuff? Like, are you just super busy all the time?
I try to stay busy. Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, like lately, with the whole pandemic thing, we weren't doing a lot. So, for me, I just kind of got in a schedule, and I think that's how the whole like EP thing came about. Really, is I kind of just got in a schedule where I'd wake up, like for whatever reason, I wake up at like 7:30 to let my dogs out. So I just kind of make my way down to the studio and just kind of start messing with stuff, and some days I'll get an idea, and that's the start of a song, or some days, I'll get far into a song and then I'll just go, man, you know what? I kind of think this sucks, and so I'll just throw it away and move on.
Wow.
But yeah, man, I just try to make it a schedule as scheduled as possible, I guess.
That's smart. And then, so do you guys have any future plans? I think I only saw like 5 tour dates for Hinder. Is there more on the horizon, or?
Yeah, no, we just announced, we have 2 dates coming up in June at the end of this month. And then we have like 5 weeks in July and August. So I think we start on the 20th. We lost the first show, but we start on the 26th. And that is in, I don't remember, but we start on the 26th of July and we end, I think, on the 26th of August.
Is that on the web? Did I miss that? I thought I was looking at the website on tour dates and I was like, I'm not seeing a lot. Or maybe they're just not on the website yet.
Yeah, they may not be on the website yet. Which
Okay.
we need to fix that. So, but yeah, they're up on our socials. You can find the ad mats for it.
Okay.
So
Are you coming to? Do you know if you're coming to Phoenix?
I don't believe we are.
Damn it.
Actually.
Okay. Well, if you're close, maybe I'll do a drive to Vegas or California or something like that.
Cool, man. That'd be awesome.
Okay.
Just hit me up and let me know, and I'll make sure you have the tickets or whatever you need.
Okay. Thanks, man. That's awesome. And then I like to end each episode with a charity. I don't know if there's one you want to just give a quick shout out to or something that's near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, man. So, my wife and I are really big into, we love animals. That's our thing. So there's this, there are several around Oklahoma City that do really great things, but one in particular that we really like is called Mutt Misfits.
Okay.
And they take in, they take in a lot, but I think that how they started is they were taking in animals that had like deformities or things
Aww.
that would people might not that might make them undesirable to people for whatever reason or whatever.
What a great cause! I love this.
Yeah, and I think it's one lady that does it, and they do such amazing work. So she's got a huge heart. So
okay, I will put their website in the show notes along with the Hinder website, and people can check it out for tour dates and follow you on social media.
Awesome, man. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Well, yeah, thanks for doing this. A lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Well, I really enjoyed this episode. Cody is a class act and a super cool guy. So do yourself a favor, and if you haven't listened to Hinder's music, just go check out some of their other songs on Spotify or YouTube and tell me it's not great stuff. Like, not just the Lips of an Angel song, the other stuff. And I also love his side project, Dangerous Hippies. Check that out as well. And we'll have to keep a lookout for his solo project. It sounds intriguing for sure. So their website is in the show notes, along with the tour dates and social media links. Everything you need. My website is in there as well, along with my social media links. If you want to support the show, your likes, comments, and shares all help out, and I appreciate it. I had a lot of people reach out to me recently and tell me they enjoy the show, and I'm extremely grateful for all those messages. And I hope I never become one of those guys that turns into a dick to people. So I appreciate you all. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And remember, shoot for the moon.